Okay, sit still everybody, don't go away.
I'd start coming down slow.
What is going on, everybody? We're back out here today in the shop, jumping back on Project Red Rocket. I've got it moved into the main part of the carport here, what we call our shop, just so I can have a little more shade and a little more fan air movement. Just going to start on body work today, start hammering stuff out. Got to get the front clip ready, get the underside of it painted, underside of the hood painted, and then it's just start doing some body filler. Got a couple little patches to weld in. Alright guys, we're back up here. Just got a little bit of time this evening. I can tinker around. I'll be out here all day tomorrow working. I started not to even get a camera out, but I haven't shown any of this. This is that corner I welded in. You can see we've got some holes and stuff. And it's really thin right there. You don't want to try. It's really too thin to try and weld. I kept blowing through it even on my lowest setting. So I'm going to mix up a little bit of kitty hair. Don't need it on super thick. Need to cover up those holes. There won't be a whole lot of Bondo work have to be done on this car. You know, obviously along the rear quarters where that tree fell across, it's still pretty wavy, so there'll be some Bondo in there. A little bit of filler, but other than that, the body is pretty straight. Alright, first thing I'm going to start with, I've done a little bit of stuff off camera, but I only did stuff that I've still got to do on the other side as well. So you'll get to see it anyway. But I've got this passenger side front fender here. I've got a really good looking front clip out there. To look at it from the front, nothing appears wrong, but it's rusted back here. Where it bolts to the firewall. And I've got this fender here that's in pretty good shape, rust-wise. It's got a few dents and dings, just a little bit of rust, but better than the other one. So I'm going to start seeing if I can get, if it's usable. I'm going to get this fender flare off of here, then we'll start sanding it down and see what it looks like. I think we can yank it off from there. I'm not overly worried about saving this fender flare. I've got a few sets of them. Yay, one fender out of the way. One fender flare, I should say. Oh, need a Phillips screwdriver. Alright, you can see a little bit of heating and bending. And we got that fairly straight. You're gonna need some Bondo, but but I think it's pretty usable now. Salvageable anyway. So let me move this, see if I can get this over here and start getting this top off. Or front clip apart. Yeah. Both of these headlights are full of water. It really is a shame because this fender is not dented or anything. It's just rusted at the back end. My goodness. Belt lasted longer than I thought it would. Ow! That gets really damn warm. What's going on, everybody? Me and Hunter back out here in the shop trying to get Red Rocket ready for paint here, so it's a lot of time-lapse stuff, but I'll just kind of walk around and show you what we've got. On the rocker panel, I took the rust catchers off, filled in those holes. A little bit more to do there. We had some rust holes here I cut in, welded in a patch, not too worried about getting perfect smooth because there's a plastic trim that goes over that. Then on the back here, this lip, it should have a rail like that along here, but that was all rusted out, so I just ground that off. And same thing on this side, still got to sand that down. Same thing on the rocker panel. Now my next project is this fairly mangled fender. I'm going to start working on that. So we'll get you set up on time lapse and keep working. Appreciate you. You see, this side's primered. I've got a light layer of body filler here where it was just kind of rippled from that side being crushed. So we got it smoothed out pretty good. Still got a little bit more sanding to do, but this corner that I welded in is finally taking shape. They probably won't ever be perfect, but it's not a show truck. It's a woods toy. We shaved off the bracket for the rocker panel molding because those are just rust catchers. Eventually he'll probably do away with the fender flares, but we're not ready for that yet. I got the front clip back on. This one had been in an accident before this fender, but it was a lot less rusty than the other one I had. So someone had drilled holes in here and pulled dents the best they could, but it still had several holes in it where they'd pulled. So that's filled with fiberglass, the fiberglass kitty hair here and here. Still got to go over it with a little layer of Bondo and just get it finished, smooth it out. I got a dip there. If I can get in there and push it out, I will, but otherwise we'll fill it. I had to fill some holes right here where somebody had mounted some different mirrors. And I've got same thing on this side. Still got to do some body filler here. It's got a pretty good dent right there that I can't get to from the backside very good. And still working on this corner here. So that's where we're going to pick up today, is on this corner, this top edge, right through here, that, and then I've got one little spot to fix on his window frame. I went and picked up a new window frame since I broke his window. It was easier just to get the frame with the window in it. Got a couple little tiny rust holes. Got to prep the doors. Tailgate's pretty much prepped, I think. So I got to do the doors, lots of little pieces. And then if I have time, if I can get the camera down here, got one little rust hole I might cut out here and put a patch in, since I don't have the fuel tank back in there yet. So that's where we're at. Probably just gonna, I don't know if I'll throw y'all on time lapse or what I'm doing. I'm just gonna try and knock as much out as I can real quick, because there's supposedly maybe Saturday's not gonna rain. So if I can have everything ready, then we'll be good to go. It's Wednesday now, so that gives me a couple days to get things ready. As long as I can get it painted early in the morning and let it sit out in the sun for most of the day, then I can roll it in. If it rains, it ain't no big deal, but need to have a few hours of sunshine anyway. But I apologize it's taking so long. Just lots of crap. I'll fill you in more later. Appreciate y'all. Alright, we'll get a little Bondo mixed up and slap on here and some on the side. And we'll go from there. I'm no professional body man by any means, don't claim to be. I've done a few paint jobs in my day, but normally all I do is some sanding and then slap the paint on. I haven't had to do body filling and that. That was from a young age. Dad let me paint. He'd always do body work, and then he'd let me do the painting. And he's no professional body man either, but we understand the general concept of it. Do a lot of experimenting as we go. So I guess I said all that to say, maybe don't use this as a tutorial, as it probably won't do you much good. But you never know. I mean, this is how you learn. You get out and you try it. So go ahead, use this as a tutorial. Try it, improve on it. Send me your tips and tricks once you do. But you say it's not bad. My biggest thing is I tend to mix too much hardener and it hardens up on me real quick. So hopefully not this time. We'll see. I do know they say not to just stir this, but to fold it. So I try to do that. It's been hard going here. Not to make excuses, but I really want to be able to put a video out every week, but between the Jungle website losing packages, rain, not to mention I've always struggled with depression, and I've been really good for a long time, but had a couple weeks there where I was pretty down and out and just couldn't get motivated to come out here. So I apologize for that. This is still just really wrinkled up. If you watched the previous videos in this series, this was back end had been hit by a tree. Had a tree fall across it. Or at least that's what it looked like. I don't know the history behind it, but that was our best guess. So we straightened that out best we could, but we just got some waviness here to deal with. Oh. I would have loved to have got in there from behind this, and I would love to got it from behind. That sounds bad, but it wasn't a good way to get to it. At least not with the limited body tools I have. So we're just a little bit more Bondo on it, a little bit more body filler on it. Keep saying Bondo. I grew up saying Bondo. That's Dad didn't say body filler. He just said Bondo, and a lot of people do. Ain't it is what it is. People know what you're talking about when you say it. Alright guys, I might have made a grave mistake. I'm trying real hard to get this video out to you and trying to get this Zook painted. They were showing I had a 4 or 5 hour break in the rain. I was going to get this painted, let it sit for an hour, and then put it back under a roof. As soon as I mix paint where there's point of no return, it's clouding up again. So, let's see what we can do real quick. I don't know. I'm stressed. But hey, YouTube fun. Stick around. Let's see what happens. Well, shit, guys. It's pouring down rain. I didn't even get all of the first coat on. It's still not even cloudy out. It's just raining. I can't catch a break. Let's just sit down and have story time. Oh, find me, camera. You dipshit. Yeah, there I am. I'm stressed, guys. I'm trying to get videos out to you. I desperately want to make this YouTube work. Like, I'm passionate about it. I really want to do it. But not having a shop to work in and trying to meet these weekly deadlines when it's raining every afternoon here, and I'm struggling. And then we went to go to dinner with a friend yesterday, or day before yesterday, Saturday evening. And Zook was running great, cruising down the road at 60 mile an hour. I had just put a new fan or alternator belt on. High dollar belt, supposed to be rated for high horsepower, so it won't stretch and all that good stuff. I spent extra on it because I had it happen before where that alternator belt stretched and broke, and it took out the timing belt with it, because on those old 1.6 diesels, they don't make the timing covers anymore, and all the ones you can find, they want $100 for them, and they're so broken you couldn't even put them on. All the attachment ears are broke off and everything else. So I haven't been able to find one to put on. But I put this high dollar belt on. We're cruising along in in the neighboring town, Murphy, over there. Running about 60 mile an hour, and pop. Heard a pop, it died. We coasted off the road. Popped the hood, and sure enough, that alternator belt broke and took the timing belt with it. Last time it happened, I was getting ready to rebuild the engine anyway, because I just kind of pieced it together to get everything working. So it wasn't a major deal. I mean, I still spent like $1,500, all new pistons, all new rings, all new rods, valves, all that, and had it bored 40 over. And when it happened last time, it was at idle, so it popped and died right away. Or the damage was minimal, couple bent valves. We were running 60. It was at full bore. I haven't pulled the head off yet. I've been too disgusted to look at it. So on top of me trying to get this done, and I really want to get started on that tin top I showed y'all, because there was so much interest in it, and that's what I really want to do. It's just stockpiling. So bear with me, guys. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep doing it, but I'm stressing myself out trying to get videos to you weekly. I can't. Obviously, I can't do it. I hadn't been doing it. I've been trying. But I didn't want to put out a video of just, 20 minutes of me sanding on a body. I want you guys to see progress in each video. Let me know if you don't care that it doesn't, it's not all the body work and paint in one video, or if not a certain amount gets, if I can just, work, 5 days a week, edit a video on the 6th day, upload it on the 7th, and you guys are happy with whatever's in it, that's what I'll do. But I'm my own worst critic, and I try to get to a certain point. And that's cost me today, because that might have just ruined that paint. And I didn't have much extra to go. All right, guys, when I left off the other day, we were trying to paint Red Rocket, and it started raining on us. So we were in through the first coat. So I'm going to spin you around and show you what it looks like. We finally got a nice day. I'm going to try and salvage this paint job. Hopefully it's not too bad. It's all got real bad water spots on it and stuff, obviously. Let me show you what we got, and then we'll get going. You can see, hopefully you can see, got water spots all through here, in the hood, or on the cowl. And I mean, all of it, because it all got rained on. But luckily that was the very first coat, so we didn't waste a whole lot of material. So we'll get some paint mixed up and get started. Start back here where we hadn't sprayed anything yet. Alright guys, apologies. I set camera up on tripod and I went to spray and I didn't look at it at all during that process. It died somewhere around the third coat, but I ran all 6 bottles, well, what I had left of 6 bottles after our fiasco in the rain the other day. Got pretty good coverage. I'd like to have another coat or 2, but I'm out of material. So if it's real bad when we get to looking, we'll order a couple more in and get that going. I'm going to flip it around, show you some shots of it. That'll be the last video on this one for a little while. Hunter's got to get some money together to finish things up. He's wanting to get some different wheels and got to get some bumpers and things. So we'll just wait and do a reveal video when he gets done. I want to start on the tin top for my next video, but I've got to tear into the diesel Zook again, since it is my daily driver, and figure out what's going on with that, you know, how bad that got damaged when the timing belt broke. But I did find a timing cover on eBay this morning, got it ordered, spent way too much on a 40-year-old piece of plastic, but if it keeps this from happening again, it's worth it. Anyway, show you this real quick, I'll quit yapping, and we'll see y'all next week. I'm going to do my best for weekly uploads. I've got a schedule now instead of trying to reach, you know, unobtainable goals each week and then pushing the video off until I get to that point. I'm just going to film for X amount of days. Whatever I've got done then, we're putting in a video and sending it out. So that way you get them more frequently, may not get as much done. Anyway, let's spin you around. Appreciate y'all. Oh. It's already starting to, sun's getting low, so it's not going to be the best footage. And again, I did not do a ton of body work. You know, I mainly was worried about treating rust, which I think we did pretty good on that. So, like, this side looks pretty good, especially that corner I welded in. It's probably the best looking spot on the car. But this, the passenger side, hey, it could have used a little more loving. Ignore this. I didn't sand that down because that's going to get plastic over it anyway. I just had a little rust hole there. I welded a patch in and put some kitty hair on. But I wish I'd have spent more time. Like, I must have forgot to go back and sand that. So it looks like poop. But we weren't going for perfection. It's a Woods toy. Appreciate y'all. Come back and see us. We'd love it if you'd subscribe, tell a friend, share a video, check out some of our merch. I am going to start trying to do my videos a little early for members. I've only got 3 members right now, but hey, maybe that'll catch on with some of y'all. We appreciate y'all. See you next week. Bye.